We'll discuss race and how it plays a factor, and how we didn't even talk about this topic because we were afraid.
A Black Executive Perspective.
We are coming to you live from the new BEP studio for another thought-provoking episode of a Black Executive Perspective podcast, a safe space where we discuss all matters regarding race, culture, and those uncomfortable topics people tend to avoid. I'm your host, Tony Tidbits. Oh, I'm glad you guys were able to join us today. I'm without my partner, the co-host with the most, Chris P. Reed. He's traveling, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to continue to tackle the real, the raw, the uncomfortable truths shaping our world. There's not going to be no fluff, no filters, just bold conversations on the issues that matter, from power and politics, culture, and corporate America. I'm going to break it all down without holding back. So, but again, I want you to come with me on this. So I'm looking for your feedback as well, because we're going to have some fun talking about what I want to go over today. So are you guys with me? All right, cool. So let's get into it. All right. So let me ask you guys a question, because this is something that bothers me. This is, the thing that we all talk about. We have pet peeves, just little things. And look, sometimes you become the old man in the club, or you always go back to the good old days when everything was beautiful and it was tougher and people were harder and all those things, right? And so I think every generation, to be fair, does that. Okay, I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother, she wanted me to carry a pail of water, I think up the stairs or down the basement stairs, and I was struggling. I think I was 6, and she was like, "You kids today, you guys are soft. I used to carry 6 pails, 3 miles back and forth," and so we all do that, right? But let me ask you this: have we lost everyday common courtesy? I want you to marinate on that. Just people being friendly, people thinking about others, thinking of their neighbors, always looking out for one another. Are we living in a time where entitlement and the me first attitude rule the day? I want to dive into this, right? Because I think we are, and I'd love to get your feedback, right? So, like I said, I'm going to dig into the decline of politeness, the rise of the entitlement culture, and what it means on how we treat each other. Is kindness disappearing, or can we bring it back? So I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on this. I want to make this collaborative, so hopefully you're ready to go on this journey with me. So let's get into it. So listen, the reason I wanted to chat about this, and look, we can see everything that happens today. There's pretty much nothing that goes on. There's not a video camera. There's not somebody recording, all the social media. So we have the insights to a lot of things that years ago we wouldn't know about, right? So maybe it's always been on a decline, but we see these things, right? And so we see them so much we become desensitized to them, okay? And we create names when we see it because it happens so much, okay? And so I want to play a quick little clip, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this situation that happened a few days ago, and we're going to use this as the tent pole for our conversation. So check it out, and I want to get your thoughts.
We need to talk about this viral video. This was during the Phillies game against the Marlins.
So Harrison Bader hit a home run. You can see the bounce, it bounced and landed in a random chair in the stands. Now look at this argument right here. Now she just grabbed it and went and walked out like, yeah, I did that. All right, so the guy grabs it and takes it over to his son right there in the red, but not so fast because the lady thinks, hey, I deserve it. The ball is mine. So the guy takes it back from his son and gives it to her. Well, the Marlins staffer later brought the boy a gift bag, and the boy got a standing ovation from the stands. I know she felt she's goofy.
They had to boo her.
But later on, the Phillies, they brought that family to meet Harrison Bader, and Bader signed a bat for the young boy. Now, I will say, now, lady, you caught on multiple cameras. You're going to take this away from a little boy, and then look what happened to him.
Look what happened. And I will say, the internet is truly undefeated. They have been trying to find this woman. And I know she's probably waking up like, oh my gosh, what did I do? but that was your actions. And I know once they find her, she's probably going to try to play victim and say, I didn't mean to, I'm so sorry. Ma'am, it is too late for all that.
While we playing jokes and games, she got a meeting at 8 a.m. sharp with all the top officials at her job.
Absolutely.
So listen, number one, so let me, and again, maybe you're a sports fan, maybe you're not. And look, baseball is not what it used to be back in the day, right? When I was a kid, it was America's pastime. It was the number one sport. And one of the things is that you would go to a stadium. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and we used to go to Tiger Stadium. I think I was 9, 10 years old. And what do you do when you go to a baseball game? You bring your glove, right? Because the goal, the hope is that you would catch a foul ball or home run or something, and that would make the day, right? So all little kids bring their gloves to the game to hopefully catch a baseball, right? And look, it's a stadium, so it's 30, 40, 50,000 people. So when balls are hit foul or home runs, whatever the case may be, it's every man for himself. Everybody's jumping and trying to get the ball or whatever the case may be. So as you saw in that clip, my man, ball comes his way, he runs over, they fight for it, he grabs it, takes it, gives it to his kid. And what does he do? What does a father do? How does that father feel? He put the ball in his son's glove. I mean, that right there paid for everything, right? That moment of getting a baseball at a baseball game, he brought his wife, his daughter, his son, and being able to get his son, put that ball in his glove. It made his day. But then you see this lady comes over, and if you look at the clip, she comes over like, that's my ball and blah, 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 and this and that, and gets into it. And then more importantly, the father does the right things. You don't know who you're dealing with today, right? Because it could be a killer, right? And so what does he do? He takes the ball out of his son's glove and gives it to the lady. And then she walks back proud, like, I told his ass, that was my ball, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, you're kidding me here. This is where we are today? Where with the Grinch, once he saw the Who people, the Who kid crying, what did he do? It melted his heart. He's like, look, at the end of the day, I got to give Christmas back, right? How do you take a ball out of a kid's glove because it's all about you? I mean, this is where we are today. I mean, the kid, forget the kid. This woman, I don't know how old she is, 30, 40, 50, 60. I don't get her age. And look, she shouldn't get fired and all. We go a little too far with the firing and all these type things. But at the end of the day, it was all about me. This is my ball. I want it. I don't care what happens. I want to get it, right? And this is where we've degraded, in my opinion, from a society standpoint. Okay, now it was a happy ending. Okay, and you saw in the clip how the baseball team. Wait a minute, the ushers. Everybody saw what happened. They came down and was like, look, let's take care of this kid. They had wrapped up something for him. They gave it to him. And then more importantly, one of the Philadelphia Phillies baseball stars, I think his last name is Bader, ended up giving him a signed bat, whole 9 yards. He did the right thing because a kid was hurt at a baseball game. And not physically hurt, but it was just a deplorable thing to do. So everybody, and this is the thing, sometimes we did I do the wrong thing? Did I do the right thing? But here, the whole stadium saw, and more importantly, they saw it was the wrong thing, and they acted on it to make sure that the kid was okay. So the question I have, and look, is this a funny viral moment, or is this a bigger reflection of what's going on in the world? Okay, because to me, I think it's a bigger reflection. I think these are the things that we see all the time. I think we've become desensitized to it because what do we do now? We call the people, when we see a woman and she does something like this, what do? We call her Karen because we see this happen so much. And look, just to be clear here, it's not just women that or women that have a sense of entitlement or don't have manners. Men do the same thing. All different type of people. We see it happen so much and so often. And it drives me crazy because at the end of the day, when I was a kid, my parents taught me manners. They taught me the right thing to do and say please and say thank you and all these things. And we don't see that today. We don't see any of that. And it just seems like everything is degrading. Everything is going backward, and it's all about me. It's all about what I want. It's all I want it now. I don't care who gets in my way. I don't care if it's an infant baby. I want it now, and I'm going to get it now. Right? So let's dive into this a little bit further, right? Because obviously we saw the clip, okay? And we didn't see the words and this and that and the whole 9 yards, but let's get a sense of exactly what did happen, okay, at that time frame.
What happened that night when that ball hit Mike Tyson?
As soon as it cracked off the bat, it was starting to head our way a little bit. So I walked to my right, and I thought, oh crap, it's coming. And I walked down a couple seats, and it fell and kind of bobbled between the two armrests. And I picked it up, and as I was pulling away, two other hands came, and I mean, I didn't really care at that point. I just walked away and held the ball up high and put it in Lincoln's glove, and was hoping he'd be on the Megatron TV or whatever, and then she showed up.
So you walked back over to your seat. You gave the ball to Lincoln. She came over a couple minutes later. What was she saying to you?
No, it was like 10 seconds or 15 seconds later. She was quick.
Sure.
She definitely scurried on over.
What did she say?
I didn't even see her walk up. And as she reached for my arm, she just yelled in my ear, "That's my ball!" Like super loud. I jumped out of my skin. And I was like, why are you here? Go away. And then she's like, "That's my ball. You stole it out of those are from our seats." And I said, there was nobody in that seat. She said, "That's from where we were sitting." And she just went on and on. I don't even remember what she said. It was, a lot of eyes on us by that time. And the ball was already in his glove, and she just wouldn't stop. And I mean, I'm literally leaning back as she's in my face, yelling and yelling and yelling. And I pretty much just wanted her to go away. And because I had a fork in the road, either, do something I was probably going to regret or be dad and show him how to de-escalate the situation. So that's where I went.
So that's my ball. Okay, hold on for a second. Let's just back that up for a second. That's my ball. You took the ball from the seats that we were sitting. So a 50,000 seat stadium, this her ball. Out of all the balls, foul balls and stuff that hit to that nature, because it was hitting that direction, every man for themselves, this was her ball. It wasn't anybody. It wasn't whoever grabbed it first. It was her ball. And not only was it her ball, you took the ball from where the seats, in the vicinity of the seats that they were sitting. So in other words, any foul ball that's hit, if I'm sitting in a stadium and the foul ball hits towards my area, right? And it comes within a couple of seats of where I'm sitting at, that's my ball. So there's no need for nobody to reach, no need for people to grab. I could just stand there and just like, look, bro, don't waste your energy. This is my ball, right? And this is where we are today. This is where we are, okay? That somebody can go to a 50,000 seat stadium and a ball that's hit that anybody can grab in your vicinity, and it's yours. It's yours. And not only is it yours, you're going to go over and take it from these people and tell them flat out, it's yours, and how dare they take your ball from this 50,000 seat stadium in your vicinity. I mean, where are we? Where did this come from? And this is the thing. And look, we can sit here and laugh. We can, say, oh, she's crazy. We can do this. We can do that. But to be fair, though, it's not just her. Okay? It's not. The decline of courtesy and manners have been like this for years, right? And that's the thing. So she's just a microcosm of what's going on today, okay? And so we can laugh at her, and again, she shouldn't get fired or whatever the case may be, but we see this all the time. Let me give you some stats, right? So look, Studies have shown that many people perceive a decline in courtesy and manners in society, particularly regarding public civility, polite language, and behavior in the workplace. All right? Surveys consistently reveal widespread concern about decreasing civility. In 2023, American Bar Association found that 85% of Americans believe civility in society was worse than 10 years prior. Okay? Reduce of the word please. Remember when you was a kid and we all, every parent did it. My parents did it. We did it to our kids. What's one of the first things you teach your kids to say? Please and thank you. Well, guess what? A UCLA study recorded 1,000 conversations, found that adults use the word please in only 7% of the time. Okay? The study also noted that please is now often used to exert pressure rather than as a genuine expression of politeness. Okay? The impact of social media. So some of the social media has something to do. A 2023 ABA poll found that 29% of respondents consider social media primarily responsible for eroding civility. All right, let's talk about the workplace. 98% of workers have experienced uncivil behavior, and 50% encounter rudeness on a weekly basis, according to the research of the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. A 2024 SHRM survey found that 2/3 of employees had experienced or witnessed incivility within the past month. Rudeness is contagious. A study found from the University of Arkansas and the University of Florida found that experiencing rudeness at work makes individuals more likely to lash out at others, right? Now, all right, Tony, here are stats, and yeah, we don't say please and thank you, and people are rude at work, and so what? Well, there's dollars and cents to this too, right? 2025 SHRM Civility Index found that incivility costs employers over $2.1 billion daily to reduce productivity and aptism. So in other words, because these people are rude and civility is up, people ain't working. They're not productive. They're trying to stay alive. They're trying to deal with their mental health because these things are happening at work. So also, reasons of the decline. Researchers and observers point to several factors. Increased stress, lack of consequences. So some people believe that relaxed parenting and societal standards have led to fewer consequences for bad behavior. We see it all the time. How many times you go to the store, you see a little kid running around crazy, right? And grabbing stuff, pulling stuff off the shelves, and mommy says, "Oh, Billy, stop that." And you're looking at the kid, and you're like, grab his ass, put him under check. All right, we don't do that no more. We don't hold people accountable for their actions. So Billy is 3 years old, pulling stuff off the shelf, screaming, kicking customers down the street. And you're just like, "Oh, I'm having a bad day with Billy. Billy, stop." Billy gets 15, he's gonna be slapping people, spitting at him. What do you think is gonna happen? That's one of the reasons that we have, right? And then obviously they throw into the politicization, political discourse, particularly online, has become more rancorous and intolerant, which observers say continues to a broader decline in civility. Technology use, people now hide behind screens, right? Because now they can say whatever they want to say about you, call your mama this, your daddy that, you ain't no good. Because guess what? They can't, you won't see them, and this and that, and they can just go away, right? And then the disconnect between perception and reality. Despite the perception of declining manners, here's the kicker. Many people rate their own behavior highly, which hinders self-awareness and improvement. So guess what? I just gave you a bunch of stats, right? Flat out numbers all across the board. But guess what? People still think they ain't that bad. I mean, that's insane. They think they're not that bad. So this is where we are today, okay? This is where we are. People are more selfish. They're all about them, and it doesn't matter. It's not just at a baseball game. It's not just at home. It's at work It's all over the place. And not only is it bad in terms of how people are being treated and from a mental health standpoint, but also from a work standpoint, it's costing us or companies, I should say, billions of dollars in lost productivity because the workers are not working because they're afraid of their coworkers. Okay. And so these are the things that are happening, that's going on over and over. And sometimes I think, is this just me who sees this, or am I going crazy? Right. So let me see what some people said. So Sal says this. He says, guess what? It is, what did you say here, Sal? You said it's free for all. It's a free for all, right? Anyone that has access to the ball, they can have it. Well, exactly, Sal. Look, we know that, right? It's when it comes to baseball, everybody can go grab it, right? But at the end of the day, what we're seeing now is that people are all about themselves, okay? In every statistic and in every area. That's what's happening. So look, I'm going to play another clip. I want to get your thoughts because, again, as I was putting this together, I was thinking, is this me? And do I feel this way? Is it just what I see? But guess what? That's not what's happening because we're seeing a lot more people see it as well.
As a society have become much more selfish, they say, and we need to show perhaps more kindness and consideration to one another, maybe even just beyond the holidays. Have we lost social etiquette?
What do you guys think?
Have we?
Okay, good. I thought it was just me. I'll tell you the top 3 things that I'm seeing that really, really grind my gears. The first thing, I don't take public transit as much because I just bought a car, but prior to that, I've been taking it for like 10 years straight. And I cannot tell you how many times I've seen an elderly person or a pregnant woman get on a streetcar or a bus or train, and nobody gets up. And I'm glaring at the men going, are you not seeing this?
Is it because they're all on their phones?
No, they're looking at that pregnant woman dead in her eye like this. And I'm like, really, you're not gonna get up? So then if I'm sitting down, I'll always get up. The second thing I notice, and this is so funny, people do not say good morning. Or if you say good morning, they do not return it. And I live in a condo and people are notoriously not friendly. And one morning I was getting to the elevator and I looked at the guy and he goes, good morning. And I was so caught off guard that I had the frog in my throat. I was like, because I'm so accustomed to people not saying good morning, and I couldn't help myself. I go, where are you from? He's like, I'm from England. I go, I knew you weren't from here, because we're just, we don't do that. And the one that really grinds my gears, when you're on the highway and somebody wants to merge, and you let them in, and they don't give you the nod.
Yeah, you just get the time.
I want to hit my gas and go up to them and be like, I let you in.
That's true.
Thank you so much.
It's true.
So it's not me, right? This is happening all over, and it's funny. She talked about a couple of those. No, so number one, living in Connecticut, I commute into the New York City, catch Metro North. You see it all the time, right? Somebody pregnant, a woman, or something of that nature. Train is packed. Nobody gets up. Back in the day, that was something that especially your mother, taught you to do as a boy. Hey, you let older people sit down, right? You stand up. You don't see none of that. Matter of fact, I to be honest, and I've caught the train for 25 straight years, right? And I've gotten up several times for people. But to be honest, out of 25 years, I probably said, I'm trying to think, maybe one person said, hey, if it wasn't me, said, hey, you can come sit in my, yeah, I take that back. I saw one dude do it. Think about that for a second. That's gone, right? The one that drives me the most crazy, and she just said it. Nobody says good morning. I mean, think about that. That's the most, look, if you can't do that, if you can't get up and wake up and you walk past somebody for the first time in the morning on your walk or walking into the building and just say good morning, people don't do it. They don't do it, right? And this is my friend and his wife, Steve and Sandy Giusti. They live up in Boston, right? And usually I go visit them, I go up for a weekend, and these guys, every morning they get up and they want to go walking, right? We go walk and stuff, right? And we walk and we talk about deep stuff. It's great conversation, right? But one of the things I got into them about, so like, look, it drives me crazy. As we walking, I always say, good morning, good morning. Some people say good morning. Some people just look at you like you dirt or something of that nature. And it drives me crazy, right? And I've chatted with them about this, like, look, man, it's rude. It's just flat out rude. If you now look, I get it. Your mother died. Something happened. I get it. I get it. You have to fight with your husband or your wife. Okay, maybe you're not right frame of mind. But at the end of the day, that should be an anomaly. Okay, that shouldn't be every day, and it doesn't happen. People don't say good morning. And then the final thing that she said, hey, how many times? Look, we got so many cars on the road today. Ton of people, traffic. I don't know where did all these people come from that's driving? It's increased. So obviously, when you have so much traffic, right, there's going to be issues in terms of letting people in and congestion. And when you let people in, you say, hey, come on, or you blink your lights and say, go ahead, or what the case may be. They don't even acknowledge. They don't even say, hey, thank you. Maybe it's 2 out of 10. All right, where years ago, it used to be all the time. And this is where we are. Now, this is why I love going. If you've never been to Martha's Vineyard, though, that's when you go there. Like she said, when the dude said, good morning. She's like, where you from? He's in England. Okay, you must not be. When you go to Martha's Vineyard, you experience that. You experience all that. You walk past people, ride by people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's so many people on the island during the summertime, from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day weekend. So there's a million cars. So people gotta let each other get. You see people thank you, this and that, on our yards, people stopping their cars, letting bikes go past, making sure people walk. And then you come back to the mainland, and it's like every man for himself. Okay, so this is where we are today. So at the end of the day, we can sit here and we can talk about Karen. We can talk about the lady, she was crazy, she did this and that. I can't believe she did that. I wouldn't do that. But it's not just her. Okay? It's not. So let me hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think? Let's see. I got Sal here again. What do you say, Sal? He says, hey, I see it every day, Tony. I was taught to be respectful, and this is how my parents brought me up. I don't see this today. My neighbor next door has a huge sign. Hold on, can I put this back up here again? That was funny. What did you say here? My neighbor next door has a huge sign on the ledge of his window. It says, be kind, right? I mean, we got to do that just for common courtesy. This ain't, we don't need people to solve calculus problems here. All right, this ain't heavy lifts type stuff. This is just common. And when I say common courtesy, what does common courtesy fall under? Okay, it's the easiest thing. Please, thank you, you're welcome. Like we said, driving. Hey, thank you for letting me in. These are things that they're not heavy lifts. We can throw other things, standing up for women, holding the door for people, or women when they come in, or anybody you see holding the door for them to let them in, right? A smile, just smiling at people, letting them know that you're friendly. All these little things are not heavy lifts, okay? This is just regular things that happen all the time, that every human being has the power to do. And this is part of having a society of people where we all, at some point, we get it. We're busy, we got issues, we got this, that, we get it. But without these little common courtesies, it turns our society into chaos, and it turns it into every man for himself. Why is that important? Let me tell you why. Because nothing grows overnight. Okay, people didn't just wake up one day and start hitting people over the head with clubs. Well, let me back up. One of the things is we didn't get here just based on somebody just stopped saying that, or somebody just, road rage didn't start overnight. Okay, it's all these things start from the beginning. They start when people stop saying thank you. They start when people stop saying please. They start when people stop holding the door for one another. They start when people say when people stop saying I'm sorry and please forgive me. Those things, when people start doing that, then these things start escalating, because now I'm not saying please, I'm not saying thank you. So now I'm not saying I'm sorry. And then now all of a sudden, these common courtesies are out of the window. And then now you start having savages. You start having people escalate. Okay, you start having these things rise up. I mean, when I was a kid, the guys, help me here, because maybe it's me. When I was a kid, did you see a lot of road rage? I don't think, and look, I'm not saying everything was the good old days, but I'm just being honest. When we were on horseback, did you see people colliding on horses, saying your horse bumped into mine and I'm gonna kill you? I mean, think about it though. It's kind of interesting, but my point is, it starts with these little bitty things of stop doing them, like please, like thank you, like I'm sorry, please forgive me, opening doors for people, just being the common courtesy, just the kindness stuff. When you start taking that away, then all of a sudden you start getting escalation in all other things. And that's where we are today in every environment, right? And that's the key. It's not just on the baseball game or whatever the case may be, it's in everything. So the question I always ask, somebody taught me this years ago, and the psychology of me first. And I forget the guy who taught me this, but he said, Tony, think about it. He said, we are, when we're born, we're inherently selfish. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, think about it for a second. When you come out of the womb, do you come out singing? You come out tap dancing? You come into the world crying. Okay? And then how do you know when a baby wants to eat? The baby starts crying, right? What is the baby saying? Feed me. When the baby needs to be changed, what does it do? The baby starts crying, change me. Okay? And so we come in the world thinking about me, me, me. Now here, it's not a negative. It's not a negative, but just to be fair, that's how we're born into the world. And this is every human being. This is not just people who are selfish, whatever the case may be. This is everybody, right? I give you an example. When you dream at night, who's the star of your dream? It's you. You in every dream. You the star, okay? There's not a dream you have where you dream about other people and you ain't in it. You the star, right? Let me give you another example. If we took a group picture right now and there was 50 people in it, and I gave you the picture, who's the first person do you look for out of the 50? You, right? And guess what? Everybody else is smiling and their teeth are gleaming. But if you've got pink eye, or you got one eye open or one eye closed, you say it's a horrible picture because you don't look good in the picture, right? So at the end of the day, these are the things that we do all the time, right? Now, again, it doesn't make us selfish, but I've always said that every day, 24/7, 365 days of the year, there are 3 people that every person on the planet thinks about every day. 3 individuals, 24/7, 365 days of the year. Let me ask anybody, what are those 3 people that every human being thinks about all the time? Can anybody answer? Let me answer it for you.
Just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I.
And that's the bottom line. Me, myself, and I. All right? And unfortunately today, that self that we all are born with, that doesn't mean it's selfish, but now it's going out of control. Now it is me, myself, and I. That woman who went after the baseball, she wasn't thinking about nobody but me, myself, and I. All right, that's it. It's my baseball. This is my stadium. These 50,000 seats, they're all mine. This ball is mine. All right, me, myself, and I. No empathy, no thinking about the little kid who's got his glove to come there. She don't care about that. Me, myself, and I. Okay, so that's the psychology of me first. It's all about us. And we think about it all the time. We've elevated it, escalated it to an area where now our behavior, it's a big difference of just one see the picture of you out of the 50 people in the picture, saying like, hey, do I look good in this picture? Or dreaming and you're the star of the dream. Now, everything where I go, everything that I do, it's got to be about me, okay? And if it ain't about me, then I don't want to deal with it, okay? I don't want to be a part of it. So how did we get here, okay? Why do we do this? Let's check out this clip so we can try to get some type of clarity on why this happens.
Entitlement is actually a form of selfishness. It's an outward display of a person who is feeling selfish on the inside. I know that's kind of bad news, especially because so many people are struggling with entitlement issues nowadays. Why are people experiencing so much entitlement? Some of the key reasons, or the main reasons, are that it is promoted widely in society. So we talk about people deserving all of the time, and we are so hyper focused on how we feel that we almost can't break out of that. In fact, modern psychology has really led to this overemphasis on how a person is feeling. And there's this great untruth that is perpetuated across the world that a person has to follow their feelings no matter what. So if I feel like I want chocolate, then automatically I think I deserve it and someone better give it to me. If I feel like I need to sleep instead of go to work that day, then I should feel entitled to have that, right?
And that's the bottom line, right? And to be fair, to her point, that's where we are a lot, is that, and I've heard and read of several of these books where now it's like, hey, if this is how you feel, then you got to go after your feelings and you got to do this and you got to do that. And to be fair, I don't think they meant it like it's all about you and you just stomp over everybody and you just go and do your own thing, right? But that's how people take it, okay? And now we're on this trajectory of decline when it comes to common courtesy, because now it's all about me. Okay? And when it's all about me, I don't care about anyone else, right? And so one of the things that we're doing to perpetuate this is the thing that we did today, is every time somebody does this, we put them on social media and say, look at this person, and she's a Karen, or he's a Fred, or we've come up with these names and we act like these are anomalies and we laugh, but at the end of the day, you heard the stat, okay? What was the number? Despite the perception of declining manners, many people rate their own behavior highly, which hinders self-awareness and self-improvement. So 80-something% of people think they ain't got a problem. It's you. You got the problem, okay? It's the Karen. She got the problem. It's the Fred that he's got the problem, right? And that's the thing. So we got to back up a little bit, right? How do we, what's that old thing? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So one of the things that I'm recommending that we all do. So look, at the end of the day, do I say thank you? Yes. But can I be better at saying thank you? Absolutely. Do I say please? Yes. But do I say please 100% of the time? Probably not, right? Do I hold the door for people? Yes. But do I do it all the time? Probably not, right? So we need to all be honest and look in the mirror and take a step back here. And at the end of the day, we got to stop worrying about this person is horrible and that person is horrible. And at the end of the day, if we start with ourselves first, if we are able to hold ourselves accountable and be examples, and I get it, people are still going to go crazy and do their own thing, but we can start pulling this back, because at the end of the day, that lady, she was born, and maybe I would hope her parents taught her, but now she's gone away. But if we can bring this back home and start instilling it and all start speaking on it and acting on it, right? And create a wave, a tidal wave of reclaiming kindness, all right? And then guess what? We'll start seeing that wave materialize. We'll start seeing that wave scale out. Right? We can't just sit back and say, look at them and they're horrible and blah, 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 and this and that. We got to reclaim kindness, because if we want kindness to be a part of our society, we need to then pull the reins in and hold ourselves accountable first. okay? And then hold our family members accountable, okay? In all these things. And you heard me go over the stats. A lot of this is with a lack of accountability, okay? Now, look, let's be fair. There are always going to be a percentage of any population that's selfish, okay? So we're going to never root that out, right? But what we need to root out is the people that's going overboard, okay? So it's never going to be 100%, all right? But it shouldn't decline the way it has been declining over the last 10, 15, 20 years, or whatever the numbers are. So if you feel like I feel, right, at the end of the day, what can I do to reclaim kindness, right? Well, like I said, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. What's the first bite? First bite, I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to work as much as I can in every endeavor to make sure that anybody that I engage with, be it with and I'll start at home with my family, my kids, anybody, I'm going to make sure that these common courtesies are not lost. I'm going to incorporate them. I'm going to talk about them. And more importantly, I'm going to do them. Okay? So saying, please, can you pass me this? Thank you. Hey, thank you for all the things that people do. Thank you. Thank you. Just let's all start, trying to bring it back. Encouraging other people to say thank you and please, and not beating them over the head. You didn't say please, but no, let's make it a contest. Some people have, some families, because they want, they don't want kids using profanity, or they'll have a jar, and anybody says anything that's inappropriate, they put 50 cents or a quarter. You can do stuff to that nature, right? But let's incorporate kindness. Let's walk out the door. When we walk out the door, in my house, when we get up in the morning, right? I can't say good morning to my neighbor and the people I work with, and when I go work out, and unless I say good morning to my own family. I mean, it starts there first, okay? So wake up and say good morning, good morning, good morning. That gets you going, right? A smile. Then when you walk out and you start seeing other people, it's easy to say good morning. So these things we need to reclaim. These things we got to hold ourselves accountable to this, right? And then more importantly, let's don't sit back and push and really promote these people that do stuff like this Phillies thing. Let's use these moments to say she's an anomaly, right? And what we want to do is promote kindness. Because guess what? It's in our control. These things we can control. Right? There's two things I always say. There's two things as human beings we have control over. Yes, your work ethic and your attitude. This is an attitude. See, kindness is all attitude. That's all it is. It's an attitude, right? It's an attitude where you choose to be kind or you choose not to be kind. That's just a fact. Okay? And so at the end of the day, these things are in our control. So what I would like everyone to do, if you're with me on this, if you want to reclaim kindness, if you want to start biting that elephant and eating the elephant one bite at a time, first start at home. Wake up. Good morning. Start thinking. I want everybody to start using the hashtag kindness. All right? Let's do that. Kindness wins, okay? Let's create a social media challenge. Moving forward, whenever you do, let's push kindness out. Let's don't let these negativities get pushed out, right? Let's push kindness out. Let's push courtesy out. Let's do these little bitty things and reclaim the things that we were raised on. Okay, regardless of where you grew up or what town, what color you are, what the economic status, what your religion. I'm just flat out, when I was a kid and I went to school with all different type of kids, we all said please and thank you. I mean, it's just, and that's something all of our parents taught us. Okay, it was a staple. So we need to bring that back. Okay, let's make that a staple for our society, and let's hold ourselves accountable. And then more importantly, let's incorporate this common courtesy on a daily basis. Hashtag kindness wins. So I'm looking for two hashtags moving forward. Hashtag kindness and hashtag kindness win. Are you with me? Can we do this? Because guess what? Like I said earlier, this is in our control, right? These are the things that we can do. And these are the things, by us all doing this, we're going to see an increase in people taking care of one another, people loving one another, but not just saying it by showing it. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy this episode of a Black Executive Perspective podcast. I miss my boy Chris P. Reed. He'll be back with me next week. So I want to thank you for investing the time to come and sit down, talk about what I want to talk about today. I want to give you a couple reminders before we leave. Don't forget to check out our next Need to Know with Dr. Nasinga Burton. Dr. Burton really dives into the timely and crucial topics that shape our community and world. These are things you don't want to miss. Dr. Burton is fantastic. I'm talking a scholar, and she tells it like it is. Micro podcast is less than 10 minutes. Check her out here on Black Executive Perspective podcast every Thursday. Need to Know with Dr. Nasinga Burton. And don't forget to check out our next upcoming roundtable, Pull Up, Speak Up, where our roundtable will dive again into the hardest hitting topics. Every voice count, every perspective sparks change. This just isn't talk, it's a call to action. We want everyone to tune in and enjoy the revolution. And when we talk about kindness, here's the key. On Pull Up, Speak Up, people have different perspectives. People agree and disagree on the whole nine yards. But at the same time, they may disagree, but they're not cussing each other out. They're not calling each other names. They're not, sending letter bombs, to their family because they believe this or they don't believe that, right? So even in contested or debated forums, you can still be kind. Everybody don't have to agree. You can still be kind. So you'll see that on Pull Up, Speak Up. So make sure you check that out on a Black Executive Perspective podcast. So listen, obviously we're talking about kindness. One of our goals is to decrease all forms of discrimination, right? So racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, you name it, all the isms, we want to get rid of it, right? But again, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So we've created an acronym called LESS, L-E-S-S, and we're asking everyone to incorporate it because, again, this is something in your control. So we're asking everyone to L stands for educate, learn about other racial and cultural nuances so you can be more educated on people that are not in your network, that people don't live in your neighborhood. You're not allowing the media or some type of stereotype or some type of narrative that's being pushed out for you to learn about different people. Learn about different people, educate. Then after you learn, you have the letter E, which stands for empathy. Now, since you've learned about new people and new cultures and all nuances, now you can be more empathetic to those individuals because now you can put yourself in their shoes. And then the first S stands for share. Just like you do, and you go see a movie, you come back, you got to go see this movie, you blah, blah, you tell everybody about it. So it's the same thing here. When you learn about new people and new nuances in the whole nine yards, you want to share it. You want to educate and enlighten other people so they can learn as well, right? And then the final S is stop. We want everyone to stop discrimination as it walks in your path. What does that mean? It's simple. If you're at the Sunday dinner table and Aunt Jenny or Uncle Joe, they say something that's inappropriate, just don't sit back and laugh. Just don't sit back and say nothing like, I can't believe he said that. No, say something. Uncle Joe, Aunt Jenny, we don't believe that. We don't say that. And you stop it right there. So think about that for a second. Just that little power, that little sentence, right, changes. That's that snowball that starts going down the hill, okay, in a positive way. So if everyone can incorporate less, LESS, we'll build a more fair and understanding world because we got the control to do it. It's in our control. Guess what? And then more importantly, everyone will see the change that we want to see because less will become more. Okay? So continue. Let's get less going. Just like hashtag kindness, hashtag kindness wins, hashtag less. All right? So don't forget to continue to come on YouTube, Apple, Spotify to check out a Black Executive Perspective podcast. Follow us on our show socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok at a Black Exec. For my fabulous co-host who's not here, he's having a good time somewhere, so I wish him well, love him a lot. We'll see you next week. For you, the viewer who have come here, really love you. Appreciate you coming and investing your time to check out a Black Executive Perspective podcast. I'm Tony Tidbit. We talked about it. We learned about it. We laughed about it. No matter what, we're going to continue to strive and thrive about it. I love you. And guess what? We're out.
We'll discuss race and how it plays a factor and how we didn't even talk about this topic because we were afraid.
A Black Executive Perspective.